Persuasion or convincing other people to do something, to get help or to make them agree on something is sometimes very challenging. However, some people are very talented to convince people, and also rejecting them is so much harder comparing to others. But why? Social psychology defines some strategies that people use to get what they want. Foot in the door technique. In this technique, the person who is seeking help or an agreement starts with a very small request. Pollsters generally uses this technique. As a first step, they just ask you to take the brochure, and they say it would be great if they can finish distributing them. You would probably accept that because what can it be with taking a brochure, right? But then, the second request comes. Can I also ask you a few questions, please? It will take just 5 minutes. Okay, just 5 minutes. If you are not in a rush, you may accept that. After that 5 minutes, it is the time for another request. Can I ask you to come with me to the office and sign the documents we have already talked about? You have already answered the questions, just you will come and sign. Now, if you would know that you had to go and sign summitings at the beginning, you would probably reject taking the brochure. But now it is too late, you have already spent too much time, and he is insisting on finishing the steps because just in this way he will earn his promotion. Yes, that was his aim at the beginning, and he used the foot in the door technique successfully. The door in the face technique. In this technique, the requester, person X, actually wants something small from the other person, person Y, but also knows that if X asks about it directly, Y will probably give a negative answer. Therefore, X firstly asks very big request, obviously expecting a negative answer, and after getting negative answer, this time asks the small, the real request. Y would feel, metaphorically, slamming of a door in X's face, therefore Y tends to give a positive answer. For example, you are a very young girl and you want to go to a party that will over before the midnight, but you also know that your parents will not let you to stay there until midnight. Then first ask them to stay there for the night and come home the next day. Don't forget that this is not your actual aim, of course they would say no. Then ask them, if you can at least stay there until midnight, then they tend to have say yes because it is a small request compared to the previous one. And yes, you made it. The lowball technique. The lowball technique is mostly used in selling area. It is based on the idea that keep the cost lower than real until the last step. In this technique, the salesperson tells you the price of the product which you can agree to buy. Then you talk about it, make the arrangements, and in the last point, the salesman explains you that there was a misunderstanding, or some extra costs, and the actual price is a bit more than what they say before. If you would hear this price at first, you know that you would not buy the product, but now you already spend so much time, made deal, and you tend to buy the product despite the high price. Norm of reciprocity. Norm of reciprocity is very simple social convention. People feel obligated to respond similarly after receiving kindness or favor. Therefore, people use this social convention to ask favor for the people they did favor previously. For example, taking notes during the lectures is not so common among the bachelor students, especially when the lecture is not so attractive. Although most of the students do not show interest about the lecture, there can be at least one person taking notes and attending the class regularly in each year. In order to get some notes and help about the subject from this wise student, the other students generally tries to do favor for that student or become more kind, so that they can ask for help. That's also obvious that people tend to help more to the people who are kind and helpful for them compared to other people. Additionally, we show more tendency to ask for help from the people we helped before, because we intrinsically believe that they sold repay us for our favor. I hope this explanation would help you to understand the human behavior, especially in the persuasion subject.